Look at that thing. That's crazy. Well guys, I know I said we were done shed hunting the farm, but with this coronavirus and all the crazy things that are happening in the world right now, my schooling got pushed back another week, so I have a full 2-week spring break, and then I start online classes. So can't really go anywhere either, so I figured I might as well come back down here to the farm, and I wanted to do a bunch of burning and some tilling, get the rest of our switchgrass planted. There's a lot of tedious little things like that I want to get done. I figured I might as well make the best use of my time and be productive, but it's too wet to burn right now. It's super wet. It's like standing water, even on hills, it seems like. It's supposed to be sunny, so hopefully it does get sunny and burn some of that off. But I figured I would do one more short walk, and this is just an area that I didn't shed hunt yet. It doesn't seem like much deer use it. It's just this little ditch, just a little draw, and it's not really close to any food sources, but I decided to walk it anyway. And I don't know how I saw it, but I just stumbled upon, looks like a pretty dang good and old shed. Blends right in, it's so white, so I don't know how I saw it, but I already went downhill just a little bit to check it out. It's a pretty dang good one. That is a really nice old shed. They're big deer. Wow. Alright, let's see exactly what this is. Guess it's not quite as big as I thought, but it is like a 7-point side. That's pretty big. Yeah. It might be a young deer, whatever it shed. Just with crazy genetics. It's got this dagger coming off up front. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-point typical side. Not a lot of mass, a lot of tine height. This deer, I'm guessing, was a giant someday. Old shed, at least 2 or 3 years old. That's crazy. I can't believe I saw that. Wish it was this year's, because I'd be pumped to see him, but I'm guessing this deer isn't around anymore. But still, really lucky find. Well guys, just walking down this path, and then right around that tree I can see a white antler there. Oh yeah, this one's in a squirrel patch. Look at the mass on that. Wow. Look at the mass on this guy. Absolutely insane. That could be last year's. You need to check out that bone pile down there too. Yep, this is a dead shed buck. I'm guessing that could be this deer. Yeah, that doesn't add up. That theory is wrong. It's too bad that thing died. Huh. I'm gonna look around and see if his sheds are anywhere close. What is this, Buck Ridge over here? That's too bad. That's this year's. Thing be a giant in 4 years. Must have died early in the fall because he's really gone. Well, tell you what, this one was definitely lucky because I wasn't even going to walk this line, and then I thought, man, it looks like a nice spot for a deer to bed. kind of a south-facing slope right here. And I'm nicknaming this place Buck Ridge. This is just a draw, not even close to any of our food sources. And I didn't think there'd be anything in here, so we didn't shed hunt it because we were finding them all around the food. And all of these ones are extremely lucky, but this one just picked the right line. Look at that thing. It's a sweet fresh one. I think I know that deer. I think I filmed them a few times. Good mass for a young, probably 2-year-old. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Came down the hill because I saw this bone pile. It's a doe. I don't know what the story is there, but it's pretty lucky because then I found this shed right there. I think I might know this deer from this year. I think this is last year's shed. I think I might know this deer from this year. And I think he might be dead because he kind of disappeared in October. So I don't know if it's this deer. I mean, it might not be, but we could have the other side off of this guy from last year too. I'll have to look when I get home. Trying to get out of the wind so you guys can hear me. I don't really know what to say. I just found 2 more sheds, and I told Dad and Trevor that I was going down here to work and do some of these projects, and I ended up finding 4 sheds this morning when I was supposed to be working. I mean, I couldn't really do anything else, but it's just funny. And then now I'm actually seeding some waterways down that we had cleared out. We had a bulldozer come in so we can have good access. We need to get them seeded down so they don't erode. I found 2 more already, and they're just little ones, but they're just in this grass here, and I guess we just missed this small portion. It's right underneath our little bean field. I swear we've walked this. I don't know if it's just the lighting today or what, but I was just driving and I found this one, and down there I was just walking back up to get more seed and I found the other one. So I might need to look a little bit more closely in here, but it sure is fun. Well guys, that wraps it up for this surprise shed hunt. I ended up finding 2 little guys, just seeding some waterways, and I was right down below our smaller bean field, just on a side that we hadn't checked very well. I mean, I think we had walked through there, but maybe it's just the lighting today. I don't know. But they were 2 fresh ones, and one of them I even found just literally driving. So it was just crazy. But ended up with 3 fresh ones on the day. This one's got nice color to it, and I think I know that deer. And then what is that? 3 old ones and 2 absolute studs. I mean, I was so pumped when I found these 2. I wasn't expecting to find anything. When you go into it with that expectation, it doesn't take much to really make your day pretty dang good. So it was supposed to be more work today than play, but ended up having to do a little impromptu shed hunt, and I did get some water crossings seeded today, and I tried to do some burning, but it was too wet to use the tractor to make an actual usable fire break, so I didn't trust it. I was trying to control it with a leaf blower and just kind of rake fire break, and it just wasn't working, and it was taking too long. I didn't want to trust it, so elected to hold off, and better be safe than sorry, and light the whole county on fire, even though it is pretty wet, pretty safe burning conditions. But anyway, that's gonna wrap it up for today. I'll be back out here tomorrow. Well guys, this is the plot that the magic happened in. Well, maybe that's not the right saying. This is the plot that I killed my bow buck in last season, and it's been a great plot. We've done brassicas in it the previous 2 years, and this past year we had some clovers mixed in with the brassicas, but we ended up probably adding too many brassicas and radishes to the mix and shaded out the clover too much, so I don't think the clover will come back very strong. So today I'm gonna overseed in some more clover and get some food in here, at least for the summertime. And then this fall we'll probably, because we've done brassicas in here for 2 years, I've heard that you shouldn't do it more than 2 years in a row because of disease with brassicas, so we'll probably switch to a cereal grain based mix, so like oats and rye, maybe some forage peas in there, and that should be really attractive still. So we'll probably do that this fall, but I want to get something growing in here right now. So I have some red clovers and mixed in some Ladino white clovers. Just got it from the local seed store up the road. So I'm gonna just spread that. I don't really need to do any soil prep. It's gonna get plenty of seed to soil contact, and then even just sitting on top, the rain will be plenty. It's supposed to rain for the next 3 days, and being as it was radishes and brassicas, there's plenty of little divots for the seed to fall into. So I'm probably gonna overseed it at around 8 pounds an acre, which is probably pretty heavy because there is some clover coming up, I can see, but it'll be all right. So I'm gonna do that, and then maybe shed hunt across the creek here. That's the last place on our farm that we haven't really hit very well, and don't want to keep going back into the farm too much, but we haven't really gone over there very much anyhow, so might do that. We'll see. One of the things that I wanted to get done when I came back down here on this trip was to do kind of some TSI, just maintenance on some chunk of timber right here. It's something I noticed while shed hunting, and it's something that's really important, is whenever you're shed hunting, scouting, keep tabs on how the habitat is looking and what you can do to make it better. And in this particular area, it's about a little over an acre, and it was so thick that the deer weren't even using it. And I know deer like to bed in thickets, and thickets are good, but if they can't even move through it, then they're not going to utilize it to the full extent. They'll still bed around it, but they won't bed within it if they don't have good escape routes. So I wanted to open up the canopy. And the other thing is, it's like a thicket, but the trees in this thicket are grown up enough to where there's actually not that much browse at the deer level. So it's really dense, but it's almost barren underneath. So I wanted to open it up a little bit, kill a few trees, and make some travel corridors through it. That way the deer can utilize it a little bit better. And I just did that. So we'll walk through it here a little bit, but it was a lot of work. Probably didn't do all of it, but I did enough, and they're already utilizing it some, so it's only gonna make it better. But now we can stay out of here until, well, we don't go in here but once a year. So alright guys, just have to wrap up the video here. I'm now back in the city, not down on vacation on the farm anymore. So definitely got some stuff done, but we have to go back down and finish planting our perennial food plots. And we didn't get the switchgrass planted, so we'll have to do that. And definitely our corn and beans for this 2020 season. So we'll be back down there this spring to turkey hunt and finish up doing all of our habitat work. But it was definitely a fun trip, and I wanted to touch on real quick on the first shed that I found. I ended up figuring out that it was a deer that we actually knew of, and it was a buck that it was the first year we were on the farm, 2018. We called him the fence buck. Now the shed I found was definitely the year before we owned the farm. It was his 2017 side, but he had this dagger that goes right at the base of his antler, and it's really distinct. He had the same thing in 2018, and I'm kind of surprised that I didn't recognize him sooner. He has the same basic shape as well. Really pretty typical frame and big deer. And we were wondering that year whether he was 4 or 5. We couldn't tell either way. It being as it was the first year we were on the farm, we elected not to hunt him. And the other thing is, we were grossly underestimating his size, and we tend to do that on trail camera pictures for some reason, especially night photos. They seem to look a lot smaller. We were guessing him maybe to be 160 in the pictures, but after seeing his shed from the previous year and how much he was definitely bigger in the 2018 year, he was probably pushing 170 as a basic typical frame. So definitely a big deer, and unfortunately that deer's not around. He never showed back up this past season. We had pictures of him clear through the rut, the end of the rut, so he didn't get killed in the rut. And then he vanished during the late season, probably because we didn't have any late season food that year. the farmer didn't plant any corn or beans or anything like that, and we didn't have enough time to really get everything settled in. So he ended up leaving in the late season, so he could have either gotten killed late season by a neighbor or something, or he could have been winter kill. We had a pretty tough winter as well, so it's too bad. He never showed back up. Don't know what the story is on him now. And like I said, we didn't hunt him, and we're definitely kicking ourselves because it's definitely the most patternable mature buck that I know of and that I've ever seen. We called him the fence buck because we were on the fence about shooting him, and he also went through this gap in the fence that we had a trail camera almost every single day. Well, it seemed like almost every single day. I think probably 4 out of 7 days a week, and it would be almost every time in daylight all throughout the month of October. So definitely kicking ourselves there, but I guess it was a risk that we took, but wanted to throw that in there because I think it's really interesting, and I don't know, just cool to find that shed, I guess. But anyway, that's going to wrap up the video. Make sure you stay tuned. We'll definitely have some more videos in the works. If you like the video, make sure you hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to see future content. Thanks for watching, and stay safe, everybody.